right, so it's 1 year of the lockdown and also 1 year of the migrant exodus, and who can forget those pictures? There's a new documentary on Disney Hotstar called 1232 Kilometers. We've interviewed the director of this documentary, but a very important person has given music, composed the music for this documentary. What moved him? What went in his heart to come up with such moving music for a moving documentary? I have with me Mr. Vishal Bhardwaj. Thank you very much, Mr. Bhardwaj, for joining us right here on NDTV. I want to ask you this question straight up. What moved you?
Actually, what was happening during the lockdown, and we all were locked down, and we were hearing news on your channel and various other platforms, and it was heart-wrenching. It was such a helplessness we all were feeling, that we couldn't do anything, we are not able to do anything, and the kind of the problems the migrants were facing, and that my heart cried for that. I didn't know how to express myself, my inner feelings for them. When this documentary came to me, and I found this an opportunity to express my inner feelings, that what I couldn't express at that time, I found this opportunity in this film.
Mr. Bhardwaj, there is Gulzar Saab also in it. There is Rekha ji also in it. There is everyone with all the creativity who are pouring their heart out in this documentary. Mr. Bhardwaj, it is usually said that documentaries, you don't have music being composed for documentaries. It's something which is a soul preserve for movies. How difficult was this experience? Because, I watched the documentary and I can tell you it does not take away. In fact, it only adds to the value of the documentary.
Yeah, I think that was the challenge, because in normal circumstances, the norm is that documentary shouldn't have, the spiced up music or the things to spice up. It should feel as real as it can be. So the first difficulty was to convince the director. He came to me obviously for looking for music, but I convinced him for these songs as well. Documentaries have some background, they do have background scores, but they don't have songs. And Guldar Saab's poem, when he wrote this poem, he called me and he narrated that poem to me, that marenge to wahin jaakar jahan par zindagi hai. I loved this line, this expression, that marenge to wahin jaakar jahan par zindagi hai. So I had composed this song even before the documentary came to me.
Okay.
And when this documentary came, I thought this, one of the characters, in fact, is saying line in that line, that कि मरना है तो वहीं जाके मरना है, नहीं तो या फिर रास्ते में मर जाएंगे घर नहीं पहुंचे तो ये इतना ज्यादा दर्दनाक जो ये पूरा हुआ एक साल. And then the other song Ore Bidesiya, that Guldar Saab, that he wrote for this documentary. And the other one was adapted for this documentary.
Mr. Bhardwaj, throughout the documentary, you see a strange mix of people who are scared of the police and not helping the Pardesis, as they've been referred to in the documentary by people. But then there are people who are pouring their heart out also with help, knowing that they're risking themselves, knowing that the police is going to beat them up. Do you think that this symbolizes India? That there will be people who will be scared, who understand for whatever reasons that the administration has done what it did, but at the same time will not shy away from helping?
I think more than India, it brings your, the confidence back in the humanity. That whatever happens, the humanity will not die finally. And it was really sad to see that the way police was, behaving with the migrants, and the way they were beating them up, and the way they, while they're going there, they're trying to reach their home back, they have to hide like criminals from the police. It was, they didn't have the money to eat, they didn't have the money to travel, and on top of that, they have to hide like they have done something wrong and they're criminals. At the same time, the people who are making samosas for them, people are, who are cooking for them, and they are also doing it stealthily. that they, they want to feed them, and the cycle wala who is, उनकी साइकिल जो ठीक कर रहा है, उनका सामान जो ठीक कर रहा है, तो ये सब इतना खूबसूरत है। आपका वापस ह्यूमैनिटी में आपका विश्वास वापस आ जाता है कि कोई भी हमें रिलीजन के नाम पे कितना बांटने की कोशिश करे, हमें कुछ भी डराने की कोशिश करे, आई थिंक हम लोग की इंसानियत जो है वो नहीं मरेगी कभी। उसकी एक होप तो बहुत बड़ी दिल में है, बाकी तो बहुत मायूसी है। ये होप बहुत है।
So you think that in this very, very disturbing situation that the laborers were in, or the migrants were in, was a story of extreme positivity?
Yes, and the determination, the way, they were moving against all odds, against everything, and the people who came out to help. It is such a positive thing, That's why I think it's painful to see this documentary, but it also, you get an overwhelming feeling of, that you're watching something like underdog, winning.
Yeah.
In some sports film. It's that kind of feeling you get.
Very well said. Very well said. Vishalji, I spoke to the director. I spoke to Mr. Kapri, and I asked him what has this documentary changed for you in your life. And he said that what I've started doing now is that instead of saving names of people as paper wala and fish wala, I've started assigning them names. I've started inquiring what their names are. So that's one change that has come about in me. Through the process of composing the music, could you also witness some sort of change?
Yeah, I think it's not just one, the many changes. Now, when I go out to eat, I order, earlier, I used to order, or we used to order like 5 things. And, if, क्योंकि taste कर लेते हैं, बाकी खराब हो गया. I stopped doing that completely. I order such less food which I can finish, because what I saw during that lockdown, like the people were like, they were made to snatch food like dogs on the street. It was so sad to see.
Do you think, Mr. Bhardwaj, that in order to thank our stars, in order to thank God for what we have, we must never ever forget these pictures? Or do you think that we have kind of forgotten and put this behind us and we're moving forward? It's good to move forward, but it's also important to remember what we have been through, what these people have been through.
I think that will depend on each person's sensitivity, and human heart is such that it forgets very easily, and that's why we are able to live. But I think some things will never change for me personally, and for the people like me personally, that we are so privileged. We are so privileged that I feel guilty now. That that because I had the education, so I could reach the place I have reached, and I wish everybody gets the right to education, and they can also explore, because what I have achieved in my life, I think everyone can, if he's given the right education.
Well said. Thank you so much, Mr. Bhardwaj, for such lovely music.
You can call me Vishal. Yeah, because I'm talking with Sanket, and I am your fan. I love. I don't miss your programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to hear that. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.